Hello. We should be live now on Uncanny Adventures. We're back with some more Call of Cthulhu in the little town of Stillwater in the adventure Shadows Over Stillwater. And we've had some incidents happen in town. Our investigators arrested their Hank Hanratty, the person they'd come to town looking for, but unfortunately, there seems to have been some issues. The local marshals let him go. And also, a bunch of dead people are walking around making trouble. So, that's a thing. So we're going to go around and say hi. And we're going to jump back into this, because I'm really just kind of curious to see what's going to happen. So, why don't we go around, and let's start tonight with, why don't we start with D-Sword?
Hi everybody, I am Derek Sword, DSword16 on Twitter and Discord. I am playing once again Sol Henson, and he's a Civil War veteran who has somehow gotten mixed up into a whole bunch of paranormal happenstance, and had to shoot at some dead people last time. I'll do my plugs at the end, but looking forward to solving one mystery and getting 10 more.
That's how we do this. And how about Vivacia?
Hello, I'm Vivacia. I am playing Dr. Viola Markward, who right now is probably up to her elbows, in zombie guts, trying to figure out what was happening.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Very true. And hi, Callie. How you doing?
Hello. I'm Callie. I'm a little sick, so muting and coughing a lot. I play Olive, the journalist who is terribly unprepared for what's happening right now and is writing down stuff for the doctors and definitely for her story.
Excellent. And Olive, this is what happens when you stay out late at night and you get sick. It gets cold, you're wandering in the desert at night.
Especially when you forget your boots.
Especially when you forget your boots. It's bad.
After drinking with a concussion.
That's normal. That's fine.
And how about you, Vex? What's up?
Nothing much. I'm playing Kiyo Higa, the zombie killer extraordinaire, apparently.
Well, you got to have one in the group if you want to survive.
You have to have one of those and one person you can trip. So we need to find that one soon.
Well, that's why you have Duncan. I mean...
Oh, poor Duncan.
We love him, but if you got to trip somebody, I mean...
You're not wrong. At least they're not a player character.
That's true. Though we love Duncan.
We do love our Duncan.
And hi, I'm Jeanette. I'm your keeper. And I'm supposed to be the one that's, running these wonderful players through this scenario and hoping that things go well, but it is Cthulhu, so we'll find out. So as we come back to this adventure, let me make a roll real quick to see something about something that I'm not telling you all until I make the roll. Ready? I'm going to make the roll now. Here we go. Boom. Ooh. All right, so we roll back into this adventure.
Nice.
And we're going to come back into the Sweetwater, where we've got Solomon and Kiyo, who are finishing a couple of drinks that the bartender, Mr. Phipps, has given them. And the shaky hand of the school teacher, who is sort of sipping at his drink and looking around with this kind of fear in his eyes as he's struggling with the idea that he has no idea who he is, where he is, or what's happened to him. But at least he feels a little bit safer now that you've brought him into a place and settled him in, and someone seems to know him. Mm-hmm. And Kiyo, you pick up Duncan's hat that's left lying around. So what are you all doing at this moment?
Probably just enjoying their drinks, relaxing as best they can. Or at least Kiyo is relaxing as much as you can. Figuring there's probably going to be more problems coming up later, so...
Yeah, it's probably just a quiet moment of decompression, since they just had to fight some dead people, and at least 3 people in the town have lost their memories, and they lost the guy that they came to this town in the first place, and the problems just seem to be piling up. But there's a glass of liquor in front of them and a quiet surrounding at this time.
All you can ask for sometimes.
Literally.
So while you're enjoying this this little drink and sort of just recuperating in the moment, both of you just roll me spot rolls, please. Spot hiddens.
Good roll. Spot hidden. Hey, I passed.
Okay.
I got 30 of 30.
Nice. So Sol, you notice this first. As you sort of put your glass back on the bar, you see out of the corner of your left eye, you can see the back door of the saloon. And it's open because Jason had gone in search of the girls to ask them if they had seen Hank at all. And you see Duncan just kind of walk past outside the back door. He's kind of turning in circles, looking around, looking up at the sky, scratches at his head, and then continues walking kind of past. And Kiyo, you only catch sight of him like just at the last minute. You don't see like the turning and the head scratching, but you sort of notice Sol looking in the other direction, and you look just in time to see Duncan kind of disappear past the door frame like he's continuing walking behind the building and away.
I'll go get him. You grab his hat, so at least we have one problem to solve once I get him here. And Sol, go after Duncan and see if you can follow him around, catch him before he gets too far.
Okay, so you run to the back door, sort of look out back to see if you can see where he went. And you can see that he's sort of walking, kind of looking up, looking around, and he's sort of heading toward the back of Lee Chen's laundry building. And he kind of like keeps walking like in circles, looking confused.
I'll shout to him. Duncan, if you don't keep an eye on your feet, you're going to get bit by a rattlesnake.
He swings around at the sound of his name and looks back in your direction. And a big smile crosses his face. He's like, oh, hey. Wait, rattlesnake. Oh, and he jumps up on top of the porch at the back of Lee's laundry. And he's looking at the ground. He's like, where'd you see a rattlesnake? Solomon, where'd you see one?
I didn't. What are you looking at anyway? What's up there so interesting? And he'll kind of glance up to the sky and you know, is there anything of note?
No, there are clouds and the sun's out and it's a pretty nice day. But no, you don't see anything up there besides that might draw his attention.
You staring at the sun again, Duncan? It's gonna make you go blind. I told you that before.
No, I was coming from somewhere and going to somewhere, and I'm supposed to be doing something in between. And I, for the life of me, I'm trying to recall exactly what the something in between was I was supposed to be doing.
Well, where'd you come from?
Where did I come from? I came from that way, and he points back down. I came from that way.
All right. Where was you trying to be going?
I was going that way. He points in the other direction.
Oh boy.
Were you in any urgent way of getting there?
I don't think so. I'm not out of breath, and I'm not perspiring, and I'm not nervous. I'm just I was walking, and then I got distracted by that dog over there, and I'm a little confused.
Duncan, first of all, do you remember who I am?
Solomon. You bought me a room.
I certainly did. All right. Well, you got some of your memory, but
Oh, damn! I know. Miss Olive's back at the doctor with the doctor. Okay, that's confusing. Anyway, they asked me to go and get an animal from the ranch and bring it back so they can check on something. I got it. I figured it out.
You certainly did. Duncan, did you trip and fall?
Is my head bleeding?
Not noticeably.
Then I don't think so, because a lot of times if I fall and hit my head, it's bleeding.
That's excellent deduction.
Look, and he moves his hair, and he's got like a scar, and he goes, I hit my head on a rock here once.
That explains so much.
It does?
What kind of animal were you attempting to retrieve? Just
Okay.
an animal? I mean, are we talking chicken to horse? Anything in between?
They mentioned either a cow, I think, or a pig. Something that they would butcher anyway. Because then it's not such a big deal that they're going to butcher it.
All right. So, okay. There's a farm that we can just take these animals from, or were you looking to abscond with one of these animals?
You know, I don't think I thought that far ahead. I was gonna go over to the Jacobs place, and I hadn't gotten to the point of like how I was actually gonna acquire the beast. I was just gonna do what they asked me because they asked me nice.
Well, that's mighty kind of you. How far is the Jacobs place?
Oh, well, it's about if we get some horses, take a little bit of over an hour maybe to ride out.
But you didn't have a horse. You was just going to walk there?
Maybe.
All right, Duncan, why don't you come inside? I think Miss Kiyo found your hat anyway, and I don't want you getting cooked by the sun or whatever else is going on with you right now. So why don't you come in, get a drink of water, and maybe Miss Kiyo and I can help you acquire an animal. Is that fair?
You're wise fellow. That's why I think we're good friends, Solomon.
All righty then. He's just going to mutter under his breath, this sunstroke motherfucker.
All right.
Poor guy.
So, as Sol brings Duncan back into the saloon, we flash over to the doctor's office where, Dr. Viola, you have examined a decapitated head alongside the town's doctor and discovered the fact that the brains inside seem to, they don't seem right. They're smaller than a normal human brain. They haven't been eaten by something or anything like that. It's strange. It seems like it was something that occurred before they actually died the first time. And Olive, you have your notebook and you've got all your notes and you're kind of keeping track. And why don't the two of you roll me listen checks, please?
Passed.
All right. So, Olive, as the doctors are sort of tidying up a little bit after this surgery that they've performed, you hear coming from outside, it sounds like the floorboard on the porch creaking.
I pull out the shotgun that Kiyo gave me, and I walk out to the porch really slowly.
Do you want to try to be stealthy as you move to the porch?
Yes.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Okay. No. Okay. Oh, yeah, I passed. Wow, I'm really, really low. I'm rolling really low.
Excellent, excellent. So, Olive, you cross to the door and quietly sort of open the door and kind of lean out, the shotguns in your hand. You see a person sort of kneeling at one of the two front windows. He's kind of got his hands on the sill of the window, and he's looking through, watching inside. You recognize this man. This is Hiram, the fellow that you ran into at the Sweetwater, who asked you a lot of questions, and was
My friend.
and was possibly more weird than Duncan, which is pretty weird.
I lower the shotgun and I say, Hiram, what are you doing?
He kind of stands up, fixes his shirt. He still has his little Civil War cap on, and he looks at you and goes, What are you doing?
I don't want to play this game today. What? I'm helping the doctors. What are you doing?
I was curious about what they're doing in there. Did people die?
Yes.
Oh, that's a shame. Who are they?
Why do you want to know?
Wouldn't you want to know?
I don't know who they were, but the circumstances of their death aren't mine to tell. Would you like to come in and talk to the doctors?
No. But thank you.
Hang on a second.
Okay. He kind of slowly starts to back a step up, and he looks like he's kind of going to pivot around to start walking away.
Stop.
What? Okay.
Do you know something, Hiram?
About what?
I think you know.
What do you think I know?
Hell. I grab him by his shirt and I pull him into the doctor's office.
Okay, roll, let's see. Roll me a... just a fighting brawl to grab him and yank him through the door.
Alright, this is not gonna go great, but okay.
I'm for this.
Nope.
What'd you get?
I got a 37.
Out of?
Out of 25.
Okay, let's see. You try to grab him and pull him in, and you miss, but as he tries to, like, finish his turn and whip around and move away from you, he kind of trips over his own feet and goes off the porch in a heap onto the ground. And he kind of lands in a heap and starts trying to pull himself up and right himself, and his little cap sort of falls off his head, and he's kind of crawling toward it. So he's on the ground in front of you as you're like a foot above him up on the porch.
I jump down and I grab his hat and I put it on.
Dr. Viola, you're inside and you're putting things away, and you realize you hear like this clatter outside. You turn around and Olive's not in the room. She slipped out completely quietly, and there's some kind of tussle going on out front.
Yeah, so I grab my rifle and move up front to check out what's going on.
All right, so as you step to the doorway, which is slightly ajar, you see Olive spring off the porch. You see this figure on the ground like trying to right itself. And then Olive stands up straight and puts this cap on her head. And you hear, "Why'd you take my hat?" You realize this is Hiram.
All right. So since I have no clue what's going on, I pick up the rifle and I point it at Hiram and say, "What the hell is going on out here?"
"Oh, why are you pointing a gun at me?"
Because I have no clue what's going on here. Miss Olive would not, be wearing your hat if, something hadn't happened.
"I fell off the porch."
You fell off the porch. Why are you here anyways?
"I was looking through the window."
Why were you looking through the window?
"Because 2 people carried 2 decapitated bodies down the street."
And that is your business. Why?
"I wanted it to be."
And why would that be?
"When's the last time you saw 2 people carrying 2 bodies and 2 heads?"
I have seen that often enough. That does not explain why you think bodies are your problem.
He looks at you when you say that and he says, "You've seen this before? Tell me about it."
Do not distract me. You are not an officer of the law. Why do you care about dead bodies? And she kind of puts on her mom face.
"I find them interesting."
Interesting? In what way?
"They no longer have heads."
Fair enough. Now, what made you try and come on the porch?
"I can't see inside from the street."
And you thought coming up to the porch and opening the door, what would happen?
"I didn't open the door, she did."
Well, how did you think you were going to see if you're not going to open the door?
"That window has a very good view if you kneel by it."
You know what, Hiram? It's time for you to leave.
"Oh, okay." And he starts to back up away from the 2 of you.
I don't know.
Takes a step. And then another step. "Wait,
Miss Olive,
one
would
moment."
you mind returning that head to that man?
Yes.
This doesn't really suit you.
"She has my
You're
hat."
crazy.
I take the hat off and I put it on. I thrust it into his hands.
"Oh, thank you for my hat. I appreciate it very much. It just doesn't look right without the hat, you know."
Very well. Goodbye, Hiram.
It doesn't look right without that.
"Bye. Goodbye." And he
Bye.
turns and he starts to walk away. As he walks down the street, he passes 2 dogs that are tied up outside the front of a building, and the dogs bark at him, and he says, "I'm just dogs," and he sort of skitters to the other side of the road. "Stupid dogs." And he continues walking down the street, looking back over his shoulder at the 2 of you as he rounds the corner down the road.
I am wondering, Miss Olive, if his mushy brain will turn into a zombie too.
Maybe he's already a zombie.
I mean, it would not really be ethic to kill him for a test. So I guess let's go inside and see what else we can find out.
All right, the 2 of you go back inside. The doctor's like, "What was that?"
Crazy Hiram being a peeping Tom for our, heads.
"Oh, that fellow's right. Creepy is a good description for that fellow. Very odd. Very odd."
Miss Olive and I were actually wondering if, he is suffering from the degenerative brain disease and if he might turn into a zombie when he dies.
It's too bad there isn't a way to check his brain while he's alive. If we cut him open now, he'll die.
Yeah, we already considered that and thought it was unethical.
It is. But, I mean, I don't know if there's much more that we can discover right now until your friend Duncan comes back with that animal. If you two want to take your leave, maybe clean yourselves up, I can finish tidying up here and we can reconvene when he gets back with your friends.
All right, sir, that sounds very well. Please make sure that the bodies are safe and then Hiram does not come in here and walk away with the hats.
Ha, good. I will lock the door when you leave, and when you come back, just give it a good knock, and I'll let you back in.
Very well, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Time to wash up.
Indeed. Well, take care of yourselves. And he goes back and he's kind of walks you to the door. As you leave, you hear him turn the bolt. And you hear footsteps inside as he seems to go back to continue cleaning. Where are you two headed?
Well, probably back to our rooms because I'm probably covered in gore. And I need a bath and a change of clothes.
Always good things. Okay, so as you two leave the doctor's office to head back to the Sweetwater, back in the Sweetwater, Kiyo, you see Solomon come back, and he is followed by a slightly less confused looking Duncan, who walks in behind him and says, "Oh, it's nice in here, it's nice and cool, it's all you're right. It's good to get out of the sun."
He kind of looks over and just kind of holds up the hat in one hand for Duncan.
There's one of my favorite people, and there's my hat. Oh, I'm so happy. And he kind of walks over. He looks at you and he says, "Where'd you find it?"
She'll point to it was on the skull, right?
Mm-hmm.
She'll just point to the skull.
I don't remember putting it there. But, must have done that last night.
Maybe I had a bit too much to drink last night, Duncan.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. All right, so, I told Mr. Solomon that, I gotta go and get a pig or a cow to bring back for the doctor so that they can figure out if, I think they wanted to figure out if its brain was the right size.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was wandering in circles, apparently about to walk over an hour's ride distance to try to retrieve some sort of farm animal. So maybe we should grab some horses and make this a little more efficient so we don't end up with Dunkin' Bones in the middle of the desert.
Might be for the best.
Oh, yeah. We should definitely do that. We can get horses. Wait, Miss Kiyo's got tons of horses.
I got a couple, yep. Yeah, let's get going then. Want to keep the doctor and the doctor's waiting then?
No, we don't. So Mr. Solomon made a good point. Are we gonna go and pay for the livestock, or should we be careful and be sneaky so that we can get them out of there without getting caught? Like, should we go knock on the door and ask how much, or should we just take one?
We can go up to there. I can handle negotiations.
Oh, all right. I'll let you do the talking.
Duncan, the last thing I want to see is you trying to wrestle a full-grown pig while it's squealing and everything else. That's the opposite of quiet. And I don't know how you anticipate somehow stealthily stealing a cow.
You need to at least wait for the nighttime to do that.
Oh,
that's right. Well, that's when you go tipping.
Yeah. Well, no, I was thinking, if you get a length of rope and...
Hog tie.
Well, no, if you want to go get a cow, you get a length of rope and you tie it around its neck real nice. And then, you take some hay or something and, you just sort of... Here, cow. Come on, cow. Follow me, cow. And, if they're hungry, they'll just sort of follow you wherever you're going as long as you keep wiggling that front of them.
Duncan, the last thing I need is a cattle wrestling charge against my name. I think that, we might as well at least try to pay before we become branded cow thieves. All right.
That's a very good. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, I just had a big old light bulb that y'all are here doing law-abiding stuff, and if I take a cow, then y'all have to arrest me too, right?
I'm not getting paid to pick you up for that.
But you might, like, a week from now, you might get somebody to be
Maybe.
like, go arrest that Duncan. He's a cow thief.
Might do it just for the fun.
Oh, he goes like, okay. Like, we should definitely like try to negotiate and buy this
Yeah.
livestock. Yes, we should.
Besides, there's enough trouble going on here as is without us starting it.
Yeah, I'm real confused today. There is a lot happening right now in this whole thing.
Yeah. I hope that the doctor can at least figure some of this out, because,
You think I need a doctor?
I mean, I was more meaning everything else in general.
Oh,
but
oh.
maybe.
All right, yeah, no, not me, but everything. Maybe the doc. Okay, yeah, no, I thought maybe you thought maybe I. Okay.
Kiyo definitely like gives a look to wow, my brain just completely forgot what your character's name is. Derek.
Solomon.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Solomon.
I don't have it on
Yeah,
Zoom.
I had a moment. I'm like, wait, shit, I can't remember it. I just immediately left for that one moment. Gives Solomon a look.
Kiyo's
like,
having memory issues.
no, this is Vex having memory issues. Maybe I'm gonna become a zombie.
Giving Jeanette ideas.
So,
She'll have to kill me first.
still giving me ideas. No. So Duncan says, all right, well, yeah, we should definitely get going, because I don't know how long I was walking in circles. So
Yeah,
we should
we
go.
should definitely get moving. Don't want to keep them waiting any longer.
So Duncan walks toward the front door, gives a friendly wave to Mr. Phibbs at the bar. We'll see you later. I think I'm staying in my room at least one more night, but we'll find out. And he smiles over at Sol.
I'm going to kind of press the canteen against him and go, hydrate.
Water. Oh, right. I'm supposed to drink lots of water. And he undoes the lid of the canteen and he starts like drinking. If I finish it before we leave, can I put some whiskey in it?
No.
Oh, damn. All right. He walks out on the porch, and if you two follow him, he sort of looks around, and he says, oh, there's that weirdo. And he points down the street, and you see Hiram sort of walking along, stopping, looking down a side street, then kind of turning back and continuing to walk along. Stops, looks down another side street. Looks down, you see Mr. Lee talking to a couple of his employees, and Hiram kind of stops and cocks his head sideways to look. And then he starts walking in your direction again, kind of at just a regular slow pace, sort of just looking left and right. Every once in a while, he looks straight up at the sun. Then he looks back, keeps walking.
Maybe after the doctor figures out what's wrong with the corpses, they can figure out what's wrong with him. Something ain't right about him.
That is one of the truest things that's been spoken in this town.
He gets to the point where he's just kind of comes to the spot where he's almost across the street where the general store is, and the lights from the sun sort of shines through some of the wind chimes and things that are hanging off the porch of the general store, and he's like, and he sort of looks, and he kind of just starts looking at the wind chimes. And he looks at the broken hole in the window of the general store, and he's like, ugh. Kind of walks up on the porch and kind of walks toward it, looking at the glass on the ground.
I just love the idea of us just standing here, just watching Hiram do this. Just like,
TV has been invented. This is next best thing.
Next
Watch
best
the town
thing.
kook.
Dr. Viola and Olive, are coming up the street heading for the Sweetwater, and you see on the right-hand side of the road, on the porch of the Sweetwater, Duncan, Sol, and Kiyo. And then they're looking across the street, and you look across the street, and you see Hiram, like, carefully inspecting the window at the general store with this, like, serious sort of look on his face.
This man is so crazy.
As he's standing there, he reaches to his hip, pulls out a flask, and, like, What's the
I don't know about you, Miss Olive, but I'm ready to ignore the man so I can get a bath.
Yeah, we gotta go do some stuff. Yeah, Keela just kind of looked at Sol. Want to get going?
Yeah, we might as well settle up. We're losing day.
Yep.
Okay, so
Lead the way,
so Dr. Viola's planning to take a bath and get some rest. Olive, you see Sol, Kiyo, and Duncan getting ready to sort of head out. Do you want to accompany them, or do you want to stay with the doctor and relax at the Sweetwater for a little bit while they go and get this animal?
I know it's muted. Don't have to tell me. I don't. I'll go with Sol and Kiyo. I feel bad leaving the doctor though, but Olive's not like a sit there and do nothing kind of person.
She hasn't been in enough trouble yet today.
No, she hasn't.
I'm thinking that the doctor will ask her to see if she can get the notes of what she wrote down, because she probably separated them from her own notes, so she can go over them while they're going to get our livestock.
Yeah, Olive will carefully tear the parts of the notes that have the descriptions and stuff out, and then hand it to her.
All right, as you are handing the notes over to the doctor, all of a sudden the ground starts to tremble again and shake, and the wind chimes on the porch start to sort of ching, 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 ching as they hit off one another as another earthquake is coming through. Everybody roll me a dexterity roll, please.
I managed to pass. Wow. I got 20 of 20. I think 20 of 25, actually. But I passed, at least.
Okay.
I failed. I got an 87 over 70.
Okay, so Olive and Sol, you both lose your footing on the porch and sort of tumble. The notes that you're trying to hand to the doctor sort of scatter a little bit around as Dr. Viola, you sort of stand there and watch Olive kind of fall sideways onto the porch and catch herself. Across the way, you watch as Hiram staggers with the shake of the ground. Whoa! And he sort of falls through the broken window into the shop across the street and disappears from sight for the moment. And Duncan, let's see how Duncan does.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so Duncan, he just barely keeps his footing. He manages to grab a hold of one of the posts on the porch and sort of holds on and hugs it. He's like, oh, here we go again. Why is the earth shaking? And it shakes for about maybe 30 seconds, and then it kind of slowly subsides and stops rumbling. What do y'all do? Inside the bar, you hear Mr. Phipps yell, God damn it, not again! And you hear like him picking up some things that fell over.
Yeah, Keo's gonna kind of head over. Olive fell, right?
Yes, Olive and Solomon fell down.
Yeah. Keo's gonna just offer her hand to Olive.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Yeah, pulls her up.
And then I'll look around at my notes and be like, oh shit. And then I'll pick them up.
And Keo will also help Sol up if he needs it.
I appreciate it. Now, everybody else all right?
Duncan is still hugging the post.
And the doctor kind of starts fussing over Olive's head and making sure she's okay.
I'll help Olive pick up her notes.
Keo's kind of like, did anybody else see Hiram fall into the broken window? I'll go check on him. She kind of starts walking over there.
Oh, for Pete's sake! And she's gonna follow. God, this man, I cannot get rid of him.
All
You
right.
missed that, Miss Keel, but he was staring through the window at the doctor's office because he's fascinated by dead people, and
I've met a few of those.
decapitated bodies.
I've met a few people of those in my time.
It's so weird.
Not as strange as him, but
So you approach the window where Hiram has
Yeah.
vanished. You still don't see him.
Kill's just gonna kind of walk through the door. Kind of skip through. She's not gonna go through the window. Not worth it. Could rip something. Could catch something. She doesn't want to ruin her clothes.
This is true. So you walk through the door and you look over to the left where the window's, and Hiram is sitting inside the window with his back against the wall, looking around in the store. He looks up as you come in and he goes, "Hello.
You all right there, Hiram?
I fell through the window."
I saw. Glass get you?
Don't think so. He sort of looks around at himself. No, I seem to be okay.
So there's no blood or anything visible.
You don't see any blood, no.
All right, Mr. Hiram. Let's,
It's you again.
Yes, I am the doctor. You fell through a window. I am here to check and make sure you are all right.
I think so.
So, since you fell in here, what were you doing outside on the porch?
Looking at the broken window.
I think it's time to go, Hiram.
Where am I supposed to go now?
Go take a nap.
I'm not tired. I slept last night.
Yes, but your body is tired from falling through the windows and falling off of porches. You need to rest.
I have just fallen off a porch as well, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
Had an eventful day there, eh, Hiram?
Apparently. I think that this one here is unlucky for me because she's been around when I've fallen both times.
Well, then you might want to leave my presence if I'm unlucky.
Well, I'm currently sitting on the ground, so leaving would require me to stand up.
Kio's gonna offer a hand over to him. Here,
Oh.
help you to your feet, Hiram.
He puts a hand out. Roll me a strength roll, Kiyo.
Ooh, I got really good there. A success with 4 degrees of success there.
Okay. So, Hiram is this small, wiry little man. And you reach down and you take him by the hand to help him up. And you do. But you're kind of surprised as you go to help him up. He's a lot harder to get up off the ground than his sort of frame kind of like would dictate. Like, you're not sure if he's hiding some lead bars in his bag or if he's just, is more solid muscle under that kind of skinny outer look that he's got covered in clothes. But you just are like, whoa, and you kind of have to set your feet and kind of give an extra tug to get him off the ground. He's like, "You're so kind, thank you.
No problem.
I'll get out of the way. Doctor's orders. I should take a nap." And he starts
Always a good thing to follow the doctor's orders. Kiyo kind of is like smirking a little to herself as she has ignored the orders of don't give all of alcohol.
Rules are made to be broken, right?
Exactly, just by her.
It's fair. He sort of walks around you, Kiyo. He tips his hat in both of your direction and says, "Well, I should take my leave. Good day." And he walks out onto the porch. He goes down the porch, goes down onto the road and starts walking across, and he looks up and he goes, "Oh, you again," and points at Olive.
Hi, Hiram.
"Hello. I'm going to bed. Doctor's orders."
Also, Jeanette, does the bag, or would I need to roll something to see if like the bag seems to be sagging from some heavy weight or something?
You can roll me a spot hidden roll to sort of eyeball it as he's walking away.
I got a 9 under 20, under 30, so 2 degrees of success.
Quick look, kind of an assessment of it. You don't think there's much, if anything, in that bag he's carrying?
Kiyo's just gonna kind of look to the doctor and be like, something not right about him. Not just in the head. He was harder to pull up than I thought he should have been.
I know that Miss Olive and I were worrying if he already had the degenerative brain disease that might turn him into a, you know what, when he dies.
She kind of just, no, I don't mean that. There's some. When to pick him up. He's heavier than Sol is.
We might have to check the bones.
And it's not his bag either.
Of the zombies, and I don't know, were they heavier? I didn't carry them. I don't remember. Is anybody complaining about how heavy the zombies were?
Not any more so than just that, carrying something that is just kind of dead weight is annoying and hard to sort of wrangle. They didn't seem like they were that there was an issue as far as like bone density and weight of them as they were carried. And when you did your kind of inspection, nothing jumped out at you as far as the bones on the zombies.
I'm wondering what makes them so heavy. Well, I guess that is a mystery that we need to solve. It needs to be added to the list. But I still need a bath. I am covered in zombie gore.
Excellent.
Yeah. We have to go wrestle you some cattle or something.
Yes, please, so we can see if this also spreads to livestock.
Of course. See you in a bit. Enjoy your bath.
Thank you very much. I need to get this off of me.
Okay, so as Dr. Viola heads into the Sweetwater and is quickly helped with getting a bath and everything put together, the rest of you make your way to the livery, where various horses and other modes of transportation are there for your rental and or use if you own them.
You can take my card if you'd like. Save us a bit of time. Prevent Olive here from falling off her horse.
Duncan's all smiles. We get to take the cart this time?
Callie, I can't hear you because you're muted, but
I said one time.
2 times.
Okay, fine.
Third time's the charm, right, Callie?
Does Kiyo have a driver for her cart?
Actually, yes, I think she did, because
You did bring a driver into town. They helped carry your bags up to the room.
Yes, they did.
That's right.
They've probably been staying in their own room.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's for the room you rented, since you paid a little extra, there's actually like an extra small space, room inside the inner doorway, and then a secondary larger room for someone who has some kind of help, servants or employees.
Friends. In this case.
So, would you have brought them along to drive the cart, or is Kiyo going to drive her?
Kiyo will bring them with her.
And what was their name?
I do not remember, because I had said it earlier, I think, but I can't remember her name.
You want to pick another one?
Let's just do one sec. Literally, I'm just looking up Western names because I like that one. It's so there's 2 that popped out. I just did a random generator. Either Blossom Blackstein, which I like that name. That's such a good name. That's a good name for a person. So I'm gonna add that to my character sheet just so I don't forget it either.
There you go.
So yeah, Blossom Blackstein.
Okay, so Blossom will climb up into the driver's seat, and the rest of you, the 4 of you, can climb into Kiyo's small but very efficient and cute little cart to ride out to Jacob's ranch. So when you all settle in, Duncan's like, this is the high life. I didn't know my luck when I ran into y'all. It was fate, Miss Kiyo, that we became such good friends.
Yeah, just kind of flashes a grin and says, "It must have been, Duncan. It must have been."
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but excitement since we met.
Nothing but. So, Blossom kind of whips up the horses, and the cart starts moving away, heading out the main road. And so you have about an hour's ride. Is there anything you want to discuss on your way to the Jacobs Ranch?
Well, Kiyo's definitely gonna just kind of look to the others and say something strange about Hiram, more so than we already know. She's just kind of saying this to them, just in general, like, man weighs way more than he should have.
Well, and couple that with the fact that he speaks some strange language. I don't know if it's Russian or I have no idea, but he does it in the middle of the night, whether it's in his sleep or not. It's loud enough to hear from the next room over.
Duncan looks at you and goes, "You heard that funny noise too?"
I did. At first I thought it was some, way the man snores, but at this point I ain't so sure.
I thought that something was crawling around in the floorboards underneath my room.
But him, it wouldn't surprise me.
You think he's crawling under the floorboards in my room?
Who knows?
Oh.
Duncan, who knows?
Well, if there's anything I ever learned, it's, if dogs don't trust a person, there's something ain't right about them. And this isn't just one dog barking at him. This is literally all the dogs in the town tend to chase him around, and that's tends to point to bad news.
I didn't think of that, but you're right. Every time he's been in front of one of them pups, they've given him the right for growling and barking, and a couple of them chased him down the street the other day.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's weird.
Has he always been like this, Duncan?
I mean, he's always been a bit weird, but I don't think that he's always been chased around by dogs. Not that I remember. I mean, that's something that, a fella remembers. So, no, I don't think so. But, I mean, Hiram kind of keeps himself to himself and usually stays up at his prospecting site most of the time. Come to think of it, he's been in town a lot more lately.
Yeah? He hasn't been in his claim then, I guess.
Well. Oh, because he's been in town the last couple days even.
Maybe at some point we should go check out his claim at something. Maybe something scared him off there.
Oh, yeah, I think I know where his is, so, I mean, I could show you at some point.
Better than doing nothing, just sitting around.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, Kiyo. I think that'd be a good thing to check out. He seems to be, more than a lot of people in this town, particularly suspect. I don't trust anybody who seems like they're up to something.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna pay for that cow. Don't worry, Mr. Solomon.
Speaking of Duncan, do you know these folks, or are we just riding up onto their land hoping to purchase an animal out of nowhere? Are we going? I guess the shorter answer, or shorter question rather, are we going to be shot?
I don't think so. I mean, Stu and Florence. I don't know Stu like super well, but I mean, I know him. Like, I've had a drink with him at the bar. Him and Florence. They got a couple kids. Oh, one of their kids. She ended up missing. She's the little one that ended up missing recently. What was her name? Amanda? Mandy, that's her name.
Is Florence the woman that's been crying at the church every day?
Yeah, she's, ever since Mandy disappeared, Florence has been just praying that Mandy comes back safe and sound, but so far, nothing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when somebody just disappears like that, no explanation.
Yeah, it's a real shame, especially one so young, too.
So,
I'm surprised Olive is just super excited about hearing about more stuff she can write stories about.
A little concerned about the kid.
Well, yeah.
So as this goes on, the time passes with y'all chatting, and before long, you see this small ranch sort of coming up at a distance. And Duncan points and goes, well, there it is right there. There's the Jacobs Ranch. Straight ahead.
Nice place.
It is, isn't it? I mean, they do all right. It's a, you know, I mean, it's not as big as John Cross's ranch further up north, but it does, you know, well.
Is there anything particularly that stands out, either in a good or bad way, about this place?
Make me just roll some spot rolls just to kind of take it in. If you notice anything.
Spot roll 30. I got a 29.
Okay.
I passed barely. Jesus.
I got a 50 over 25.
Oh, you rolled a 50? All right, so that would be a fail. All right, so so Sol and Olive don't notice anything sort of out of sorts. Kiyo, you kind of pick up on it. Seems like it just looks like maybe there's a few things that haven't been done. Like somebody's been somewhat slightly neglectful of just smaller chores here and there. Like you can see a partially finished fence that looks like it's kind of fallen into
Bit of disrepair.
Kind of just forgotten. Like maybe they have other things going on, but
like
otherwise,
like a disappearing child.
Yeah, but otherwise, nothing that sort of jumps out as like super wrong. Like the place still seems like it's a functioning ranch. There's a couple of ranch hands that are sort of doing some work and like taking care of some things around the area as you're coming in on the cart.
All right.
I want to yell to one of the ranch hands. Hey there, folks. You know where Stu can be found?
Closest one sort of looks up and says, Mr. Jacobs is currently he's up at the house. He's Mrs. Jacobs heading into town, but Mr. Jacobs is at the house with the rest of his kids.
All right then. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You're welcome. And he kind of turns and goes back to work, sort of leans into the other guy that's kind of standing near him, and they kind of like watch you go, sort of whispering back and forth, probably discussing your group as you go by.
You're a very interesting and ragtag group.
You are.
All riding up on a nice fancy cart.
It's true. Very nice fancy cart. So you pull up outside the Jacobs residence.
For a note, that Surrey was $100.
It's a nice cart.
Nice cart.
You pull up, and as you do, two boys, probably 10 and 12 years old, sort of come chasing each other around the side of the house. And they kind of slide to a stop and sort of look up at the driver and then back into the cart. And the smaller one's like, hi!
Kiyo kind of will hop. I assume we've come to a stop now, right?
Yeah, it's literally like kind of a little bit short stop as the kids ran out. The driver,
yeah.
Blossom sort of pulls on the reins and sort of whoop, and you guys kind of get jostled a little bit, but nothing too bad.
All right. Then once we came to a stop, Kiyo will just kind of hop out and say, "Hey there."
Hi. Who are you?
I'm Kiyo.
Hi. I'm Jackson.
Nice to meet you. We're here to meet your father. Would he be in?
Dad, you got guests. And the older one's still just sort of looking at you, like it's a serious expression on his face. And you hear footsteps from inside, and then the front door opens, and maybe about a little under 6 foot, kind of a solid-looking built, about 40-year-old gentleman with a beard, mustache, putting a hat in his head, steps out on the porch. Boys, what did I tell you about talking to people you don't know? And the little one goes, "That's Kiyo." Okay, son, come up on the porch. It's fine. And
This kid is exactly how I used to be.
and this little girl sort of pokes her head out from behind the father, and she's probably all of 6 years old. And she's like, Daddy, who are they? And he's like, I'm not sure yet, honey. It's all right, Margaret. Why don't you take your brothers and go back inside? And honey, you're in charge, all right? And she, oh, And she smiles and starts to head back inside. And as the older boy sort of starts to walk past real quiet, looking at all of you, he leans in and he goes, Jonathan, you know you're in charge. Keep an eye on your brother and sister. And kind of scoots him inside and pulls the door shut. And then he looks at the rest of you and he says, my name's Stu Jacobs. What can I do for you?
Nice to meet you, Stu. Kiyo. And
Hello.
We're looking to purchase a cow if you have one. If you have one for sale.
I mean, I've got a few I could part with. He looks kind of past you and is that Duncan Exeter up there? Duncan's like, hi, Mr. Jacobs. Hi.
He's helping us with an investigation. Doctor was asking for an animal.
He leans in real close to you, Kiyo, and he says, quiet so that it doesn't carry to Duncan. Duncan's helping you with an investigation.
As a guide.
Okay. Word of warning. I'd worry that Duncan might guide you off the edge of the mesa. Just be careful.
Always am.
Uh-huh. So yes, I could definitely part with, cattle, depending on how many you need.
I believe she'll actually look to all of. Doctor only needed one, correct?
Yeah.
And did she specify anything, or just one?
Cow or pig?
Was there anything you were planning on slaughtering anyway? I think all we really needed was the head as far as things go.
Just need the head?
Well, we'd be happy to pay for the whole thing, but we certainly don't want to take any food from your family's plate, as it were. So, yeah, well, I believe all the doctor needed was the head.
I mean, we can just take a whole animal, pay the man for his trouble.
That'd be fair.
Can you explain just needing the animal's head? I'm a little bit. What are you gonna do with just the head?
The doctors are doing an investigation about.
You think there's something wrong with my cattle?
They're just checking something. Not wrong with your cattle in particular.
Yeah, none of us here are physicians to speak one way or the other, but no, we don't have any concerns over your livestock. But actually, to that point, have you seen anything strange? We've noticed quite a few strange goings on in the town. Is there anything going on in your parts? We did hear about your daughter, and our deepest condolences on that. Is there anything else you could tell us to potentially help us?
I mean, strange. I'm not sure what you're talking about aside from Mandy going missing. And I mean, I took some of my guys and we sort of searched a little bit further north. We kind of did a sweep of outline areas around the farm, and we even made our way up a little ways into Deep Canyon, but we couldn't find her anywhere. But other than that, no, I mean, what kind of strange things are you talking about?
Well, we've been noticing the ground shaking, some people losing their memories, some other things kind of along those lines. Nothing to particularly worry yourself about, but like I said, sometimes folk out, away from the town tend to see things that folks in town don't. Just wondering.
I mean, I kind of chalked it up to Mandy's disappearance, but I mean, Florence has seemed a bit, aside from going into town and crying at the church, she seems like she has no energy for anything else. And I mean, Jackson and Margaret they're little and they seem like they're doing fine, but Jonathan's been quiet and kind of withdrawn, and I kind of chalked that up to his sister disappearing, and him being the oldest boy, thinking maybe he was responsible because he let her down. But I mean, he's not really coming out of it, and I don't know if something strange is going on. Do you think that could have something to do with their moods?
Well, to me, sir, it certainly does sound a lot like grief. But
that's what I thought.
Right, I couldn't speak more to it than that. You certainly know them better than I do. If this seems like something even further than grief, I think that you would identify it better than anyone else.
Well, I mean, Florence is obviously heartbroken at Mandy being taken away from us, but she's a strong woman, and she never was one to crumble so easily, and she's been, well, inconsolable's probably a good word for it. Now you got me concerned, friend.
He'll just kind of say, might I suggest maybe sending them to one of the doctors down in town. Our friend is one of the ones who just came in. Is a good doctor.
Oh, you brought, so not just the doctor in town. There's two doctors now?
There's two doctors now.
Has it gotten that bad that there's got to be two doctors?
I'm not quite sure. I think she came in with, and she'll point to Sol and Olive. He came in with them for an investigation.
Did the marshal call you in to look for my daughter?
No, actually, the marshal called us in to bring in a bounty. No, we heard about your daughter once we had gotten to town.
We'll keep an eye out and see if we can find it. At least help as much as we can.
I appreciate that. I mean, if I can help you in some way, if you do intend to look, I'd be happy to. I mean, I could help you, like going deeper up into the mesa. I'm somewhat familiar. All you got to do is ask, and
yeah, if you could, she'll look to Olive. Olive, would you be able? I know you like recordings. You're good at recording stuff. Would you be able to ask some stuff, see if we can get some information off them for this too? Might help to have information, and maybe we might find something there too from what we're looking for.
Do we, Jenna, do we know the circumstances of Mandy's disappearance? Like, have they told us? Because I can't remember.
So you heard when you got to town that Mandy had been missing for probably a couple of weeks. The thought was that she had maybe been kidnapped by the local natives, but so far there had been no real evidence of that. Just her father and mother didn't think that Mandy would run off on her own, and so no one has seen any sign of her. And she's not the only person who's disappeared. There was also another local man who disappeared around the same time as Mandy did.
How old is Mandy?
Mandy is, let's see, she is, question. Oh, here we go. So she's about 13 years old. And she disappeared about the same time as a fellow named Virgil Wright.
Shit. Now I want to do this. Olive will very solemnly say, we will do what we can for Mandy. I promise you that.
Kind of gives you a look over, and he says, I appreciate that. I just hope that wherever she is, she's being well taken care of.
You and me both. Now, onto at least some nicer news. How much will you charge for one of your cattle?
Well, the general going price is, usually ask $75. But if you all are gonna look into the disappearance of Mandy, I can let it go for 60.
Kiyo kind of reaches into her pouch, kind of fishes around for a moment, and comes out with $70. How about we? It comes out with $70. How about we meet in the middle? Because I want to pay you fairly for your time, and I don't want to shortchange you if we tend to end up not being able to do much.
Well, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, I'll let me walk you over. We'll get you set up. You can well, I guess you got your cart. We can tie it off to the cart and it can follow you back to town, or I mean, unless you want them to butcher it before you go, I can have someone.
I think our doctors probably want it as whole as possible. If not, we'll get someone out and they'll eat good at the Sweetwater tonight.
All right, and I'll consider bringing Jonathan and Florence in to talk to your doctor friend. Maybe tomorrow morning. I'll wait for Florence to come back and see how she feels about it.
And I'll make sure to give her a warning for you, so that maybe she can make some time for it.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's go see this cow. No problem.
All right, so as the rest of you walk with Stu Jacobs to head over to collect your now purchased cow back in the little town of Stillwater, Dr. Viola Markward, you have your comfortable bath drawn up by Patsy, one of the two young ladies who works at the Sweetwater. She even brings you like a non-alcoholic like tea to sort of sit next to you while you're sort of relaxing in the tub, and leaves you to kind of just relax, clean up, unwind. And what are you doing as you know that you have a couple of hours to burn while your friends are off collecting this livestock for your experiment?
Well, she definitely goes over all the notes and tries to connect it in her head with what she already knows, see if she can find any clues. She'll also make a plan on how to set up her experiment, so that once, we get the brain, we can, compare it and figure things out.
Okay.
So she'll spend most of that time going over the notes and trying to figure out what's going on.
So where are you going to do your note-taking and reading? Are you going to be downstairs in the Sweetwater? Do you want to go up to your room and have some privacy?
I think she'll take her tea up to her room.
Okay.
So she doesn't get disturbed.
While you're up in your room taking your notes, why don't you roll me a listen check? All right. So as you're busy kind of sitting with your notes, your tea on the table next to you, you're sort of looking through what Olive wrote down and kind of taking your own notes. You hear it's muffled and distant because you sort of are in the room down the hallway, but you hear this kind of coming through the quiet of the afternoon.
This is Hiram again. So, she'll put down her notes, she'll grab her rifle, and she goes investigate.
Okay, so you leave your room, and Hiram's room is the kind of the second one before the top of the stairs. Are you going to be stealthy as you make your way down the hallway?
Oh, we might as well try. Yeah, no, we're not stealthy.
All right, so as you're making your way down the hallway, you get just about outside the door of Hiram's room, and the kind of comes to a stop. And then you hear, like, the boards creaking as footsteps come toward the door. But the door doesn't open.
I'll knock on the door.
Who is it?
This is the doctor. Please open the door.
Which doctor is it?
How many female doctors does this place have?
One.
This is her.
All right. You hear a click, and then the door opens, and you see Hiram's face. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Hiram. I thought you were supposed to take a nap.
I was napping. Yes, I was.
Mr. Hiram, I could hear you talking from my room.
You could hear me talking.
Yes, sir. Pretty loudly.
I talk in my sleep.
Do you remember what you were dreaming about?
No.
It's just that you were mumbling, and I couldn't quite understand what you were saying.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that you're not having nightmares.
No, no nightmares. Things are going just wonderfully. Are they going well for you?
Well, maybe. We'll have to see. Well, sir, I just wanted to make sure that you are all right. Go ahead and get back to your rest.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. I found something you might like. Do you want to see it?
Yes, sure, Mr. Hiram.
Oh, good. He digs in his pockets of his trousers, and he pulls out, it looks like one of the, like a piece to one of the wind chimes that he knocked into on the porch across the street. And it's kind of pretty. It's flat. It doesn't look like a regular stone. It looks kind of like a sort of a flat decorative stone. And he goes, "Would you like it? I found it."
Oh, yeah, you were looking at the chimes right before the earth shook. Is there
I
something
was.
special? Is there something special about this one?
It's like a white.
I think it fell off when I fell into them, and it ended up in my hat.
Ended up in your head. That's interesting. What was so fascinating about the wind chimes that you were looking at them, Mr. Hiram?
Don't you think they're very pretty?
There sure are, but I'm not sure if I would be able to spend so much time with them.
Oh, it's a shame. You should spend more time. You never know how much time you have.
Truth that. And yes, I will take that. Thank you, Mr. Hiram.
Oh,
have a good rest.
You too. And he backs up and shuts the door.
Weirdest thing ever. And she just goes back to the room like, oh, all right. And she kind of looks at it and she's like, oh, it is kind of pretty.
Yeah, it's got like sort of almost like a shiny crystal-like surface to it, but it's just sort of a flat, rounded stone. You can see where it looked like it was affixed at the top and bottom in one of the wind chimes, but now it's been freed by Hiram's clumsiness.
Can I see what kind of material it is?
You can roll me a if you have like if you have science geology, it's geology, right?
I only got biology.
If you only have, you can roll like a straight intelligence check,
Okay.
or a nature check. Yeah, natural world. Hoo-hoo.
Oh.
Okay, so
Maybe I love rocks.
maybe. So you kind of look over this stone, and it's about the size of your palm. It's sort of a grayish stone with this like sort of crystalline surface. Your first thought is it kind of reminds you of like maybe a zinc or something like that, but it just seems a little weird. Like its surface is very smooth to the touch.
All right, so tingles my spidey senses. So I'm going to carefully wrap it up and set it down. And I'm going to make a mental note to show it to the others and see if I can find out what it is. But right now she will go back and work on her notes and see if she can figure out anything that she might have overlooked, or that give her a clue of what's happening.
Okay. So you spend the next while doing this. The rest of you easily get your cow from Mr. Jacobs, and he sees you off heading back to town without too much trouble. And is there anything special you all want to do on your way back to town as you're leaving the Jacobs farm?
Not particular.
Yeah, probably just chat a little. Idly chat.
Okay. So
Keep an eye on the horse. Make sure, or not the horse, the cow.
Cow, yeah.
Yep. And with the cow kind of tagging along, it does take a little extra time to get back, just as the cow's pace is definitely not the normal pace of the cart. So it probably takes you about an hour and a half to get back. So you get back into town. It's a little ways into the afternoon as you sort of come up to the livery with your cow in tow. And, things in town they seem to have sort of settled down, at least for the moment. Kind of look around. Some people are mostly going about their business. Seems a little quieter than yesterday, but otherwise...
I mean, probably because there was just a gunfight outside, effectively, but...
and as
Gunfight and an earthquake.
A gunfight and earthquake. As you are climbing out of the cart, Sol, you feel something tug at your shirt.
From where?
Like from behind you.
I turn around.
Standing directly behind you, putting his hands on his hips, is Mark Purbish, the 14-year-old nephew of Hank Henreddy.
Yep.
And,
I remember.
Yes.
How could we forget?
Standing a little ways back, kind of at the corner of the livery, looking around the corner, is the 14-year-old son of the general store owner.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Dustin Hunter.
Right.
He's sort of standing there looking at Mark, like, you get the feeling he just told his friend, nope, don't go talk to him, and Mark has just decided to step up to you and have a conversation. He's got his hands on his hips and he looks at you. Hello, sir.
Hello, young man. How can I help you?
I am looking for my uncle.
That happens to make two of us.
Well, I can't find him. He's not at the jail. And my father doesn't know where he is. And he's sort of poking around looking for him. And I'm checking because, well, I want to make sure that you didn't do anything with my uncle.
Mark, the last time I saw your uncle,
Yep.
I gave him a set of earplugs,
Mm-hmm.
some rock candy,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and I told him that I would see him in the morning.
you have any more rock candy?
Yeah, actually, I think I do.
You did save some for Mark, actually. I remember.
I did. I thought I saved it at the general store, but I also think I might have pocketed some. So yeah, here, and make sure you give it to your friend Dustin. I know that he's probably the angel on your shoulder you should listen to.
He told me I should not bother you, that you looked very busy.
Yeah, like I said, angel on the shoulder.
Mhm.
Anyhow, I have no idea where your uncle absconded to. The marshal seems to have dropped half his marbles and only found a third of them, and he, in his utter confusion,
Mhm.
let your uncle out of his cell, and as far as I know, he is in the wind. I apart from all of the chaos that today has been, of which this is a cherry topping too, I am planning on finding your uncle again and doing exactly what I told you before, and believing the best of him, although now that is a little bit scuffed up, that idea. However, I still do want to believe the best in him. I still do want to bring him to justice, but I have absolutely no idea where he is. My day has been consumed by the dead rising from their graves, earthquakes, crazy men, and a cow.
He's looking at you with this very serious expression, and he's watching you, and he goes, well, I actually believe every single thing that you just said, even though most of it seems really crazy. So
You're telling me. Yeah.
He was there when we fought the dead, so
Mhm.
that's
He was
probably the craziest part of that whole story.
He says, well, I've seen obviously some weird stuff today too, sir. And I'm hoping that when you find my uncle, you'll find that he's just as confused as the marshal who let him out, and it's a big misunderstanding and that you'll all work this out.
Well, I don't believe that your uncle is somehow some necromantic force in charge of raising dead people. That's...
Oh, no, I didn't mean that, sir. No, I meant as in that he did not walk off knowingly, so that you're not going to make him be in more trouble than he's already in. Also, I give you fair warning, if I see him, I may not tell you I saw him.
And, Mark, honestly, that does not surprise me in the least, but...
I'm glad we understand each other, sir.
I will say that if strange things are happening here...
They are indeed happening here, sir.
Indeed, they are. You can at least recognize that there is strength in numbers, and that perhaps your uncle, Superman, that he might be to you, may be safer amongst the rest of us. So maybe just if you see him, let him know that there's not going to be any consequences. The marshal let him out. That's on the marshal, and we are dealing with Ted in its course. But he's not going to deal with any consequences from that. I don't necessarily hold it against him. We just want to get everything done and tied up with a nice little bow, so your uncle can resume his life. That fair?
Sounds fair. Hey, do you know Dustin's mom can't read now?
No, I didn't know that Dustin's mom can't read now.
Yep, she's all up in arms about it, crying back at the store.
All right. Is she... I know she threw a book through a window. Are y'all all right? Is it just the reading part, or can she remember anything else?
Oh, yeah, she can't make any sense of numbers and words. It's real weird.
All right. Well,
I do believe Kiyo did tell the doctor this.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You did investigate that. All right. Well, I suppose, are you just hanging out in town? Did your daddy already go back to your land, your house?
Well, Dad was he was looking around to see if he could find Uncle Hank here. I think he plans to ride back home before tonight, before it gets dark. I might stay with Dustin just because he's real upset because his mom's so upset, and also because if Uncle Hank's still here, I want to make sure he's okay. No offense, but, I got to look out for my Uncle Hank.
That's fine. I tell you what, if you're going to stay with Dustin, just make sure you aren't a burden, all right? Just make sure you're helping him and his mom out as much as you can. Maybe make her some coffee and help her to see if she can... Do you know how to read? I guess we haven't established that. Are you literate?
I can read. Mama made sure I could read.
Good. Well, then maybe just help Dustin's mom out best you can, and just don't be in the way. All right?
Sure. Hey, word of warning. Daddy gave me my gun back, because if there's any more zombies, I can shoot them.
All right. That's going on the list, too. God damn it.
Just careful not to shoot the living, not in only the dead.
How do I know for sure which one's which? Ma'am.
You'll know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's... honestly, come on, Mark. You know the answer to that.
Well, before, I knew the living because the living got up and walked around, and the dead just sort of laid there and went and buried in the ground. And now the dead are walking around too. So, I mean, it's kind of a
Well, sure, but it's not like they're minding their P's and Q's. They're not speaking. They're covered in dirt. They smell like a like a grave. Yeah.
Dirt, grave, not talking.
And don't shoot Hiram. He's very similar to all of those.
He does check a lot of those boxes, but
wait,
yeah,
who's that?
The crazy guy.
He's the one that fell through the window earlier.
Oh, I didn't see him. I was back up. Oh, where's he at? Where's he at now?
God only knows, and I don't want to at this point. Just honestly, if you see him, keep your distance.
Oh.
Okay, shut that. Dustin, you take care of your mama now, all right?
What? Oh, I'm okay, sir. I'm sorry I told him not to bother you.
I know you're fine. You gave me a Molotov cocktail earlier. You and me were okay.
I try.
I'm going to say this. It wasn't called a Molotov cocktail in that era because Molotov cocktail was born in the World War II.
Right. I didn't know what to... Yeah.
It was the Molotov Ribbentrop Pact.
You gave me a...
You gave me a firebomb.
Firebomb.
Give me one of the liquor booms.
Whiskey bomb.
He smiles and he goes, "Shh, you're not supposed to tell nobody. My mom's going to get mad. I'm not supposed to blow stuff up no more."
Well, you didn't blow nothing up. It's all good. Just all right.
I'm sorry, I had to be the nerd there.
No, that's it. History matters. Yeah. All right, Mark, you share that rock candy with Dustin, all right? And you listen to what I said and just think about your uncle's well-being. I know that you will. I just think that you should have all the information going into any decision, and I trust you as a strong-headed young man to make the right choice.
He gives you a smile and he goes, "I do my best, but I make no full-on promises."
I like him. He good kid. Kiyo just is kind of grinning at that answer.
It's teenagers.
Before he walks away, Olive is gonna say, "Hey, Mark, I don't know
Hi.
if you know me. I'm Olive.
Hey, Olive.
I just wondering, did you know Mandy?"
Mandy. And Dustin leans out and goes, "I know Mandy." Leans back
You
behind
know
the building.
Mandy? Dustin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to Dustin.
Oh.
Hi, Dustin. So you know Mandy?
Yeah, her daddy is the cattle guy.
Do you know anything about her missing? Like maybe she talked about this maybe going off or anything?
No, Mandy wasn't one to like sort of wander off. Like, she used to chase after her brothers when they'd go off and get in trouble. But Mandy just sort of she's kind of quiet. She liked reading books, and she's real nice to talk to. Huh. She saved me from blowing my foot off last time I blew something up. Because she was a lot smarter than I am.
She seems like a good kid.
Yeah, she was in town like 2 days before she disappeared, and then she's just gone.
And she didn't say that anything weird was happening?
No. Nothing weird. Just, no, I can't think of anything strange.
Okay, well, look, if you remember anything, you let me know, okay? I'm staying at the Sweetwater Saloon, and I am up half the night, so you can come and talk to me anytime.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, too. Don't blow your foot off again.
Oh,
Is that true?
I mean, I'm all out of those funny explosives I found anyway. I'd have to make a firebomb like I gave to your friend.
So, don't do that.
Okay.
Olive's not good with telling kids not to blow their limbs off.
Okay. But if
She's not good at telling them common sense?
No.
If I find any more of those funny explosives, though, can I use those?
You should talk to my friend Sol about that.
Hi.
I think that if you find any of those explosives, you should probably give them to him.
But I already gave him the best firebomb that I had.
Yeah, but...
What kind of funny explosives are these? Kiyo kind of...
Oh, hi.
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 Kiyo's actually probably not that much taller than him, at least. Because how old is he?
He is 14.
Well, he was missing an arm. Is this like,
Yes.
is this somehow like, well, don't hold explosives in your hand or Kiyo.
Nah, this is her just trying to figure out what kind of explosive it is.
Well, so I found these funny things. They're like, so they're like maybe 3 or 4 inches long, and they were kind of like round, and they were sort of like, this kind of light brownish color, and it looked kind of like a crystal. And I had like 4 of them. I found them, and it was funny because I was playing with them and I was kind of standing them up and like stacking them and like doing things, and then I picked one up by the end, and kind of went to put it on top of something, and I kind of touched the other end of it. So I was holding it by both ends, and I was really concentrating really hard, and I must have squeezed it too tight. And then all of a sudden it like started flashing, and I got nervous, so I threw it. And I ran and hid behind a big log, and it went poof, and it exploded.
I'm assuming this sounds like no explosive Kiyo's ever heard of.
Yeah, no, this definitely sounds like very strange.
If you wouldn't mind, where did you find these?
Well, I found them behind the doctor's office one day when I was sort of walking and playing and running back there. They were kind of in a little heap, just sort of in the tall grass behind his office.
Huh.
But yeah, it didn't take, like, it was a pretty good explosion too. Like, I mean, it was maybe like 5 or 10 seconds after I tossed it that it went kaboom. And it's a good thing I had a big tree to hide behind, or I might not be here talking to you today.
Kiyo's kind of grins and says, "It's a good thing you did. It's a good thing you did."
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for this. Good to know, though.
Okay, if I find any more, I'm supposed to give them to him? And he points
Yeah,
at
or
Sol.
me. Him or me.
Okay,
Either or. We appreciate it.
okay.
Just be careful out there, all right?
Yeah, well, I learned with the next one, just so you know, like, I squeezed it longer, and it seems like as long as I squeezed it, that was how long it took to explode. So I was able to kind of do a little more, like, planning for the next few explosions before I ran out of them.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Have a good day.
Okay, bye. Don't tell my mom, okay?
Your secret's safe with me.
He looks at Mark and he goes, I like them. And Mark's like, they're all right. Except for taking my uncle. We've agreed to disagree about that for now. Dustin grabs him by the shoulder and is like, let's go. And he kind of drags him off toward the general store. And you are left there with a cow.
All right. Well, let's get the cow to the Sweetwater then, I guess. And to the doctor.
You easily take the cow down the street and can tie it off on one of the posts outside the Sweetwater. Jason's standing out on the porch having a smoke. And he looks at the cow and looks at the rest of you and looks at the cow. And he goes, nice cow.
Thank you.
Sure. Kind of takes a draw on his cigarette.
All right. I guess we're going to head in then.
That's all he has to say.
That's all he has to say. It's all you need to say in that regard. Nice cow. Thank you.
All right, you all head inside, and you can see it's kind of quiet inside. You don't see Mr. Phibbs anywhere around at the moment. You see Molly is sort of tending to the bar while Jason's out front, and Patsy is sitting at a table in the corner. Looks like she's reading the local news, just sort of sitting, having a drink, relaxing.
All right. Guess we should find the doctor. Tell him we got the cow.
Is there a local newspaper? Like a town newspaper, or is this more like a state or the next biggest city?
Do you want to kind of go over and check with her?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so as you walk over, she looks up. She says, hi.
It's Patsy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, indeed.
Um,
And you are?
well, I'm Solomon Henson. You've probably seen me and my friends around.
Yep, you got a familiar face.
What are you reading there?
Oh, I'm just looking over this paper that, well, Mr. Phibbs has had it around for a little bit. We haven't gotten any really new news in from out of town. So it's a little old, but I didn't have anything better to do.
What paper is that? Mind me asking?
This one came out of Santa Fe.
Any big news? Anything coming out of the city?
No, this one's kind of dull. Nothing really exciting in it.
All right then. Well, enjoy your old news. It's sometimes better than new news.
Well, it's something to read. If you, well, I mean, if you all come back at some point, you should have brought something in with you from out of town. It's always nice when you go to a small town to bring, more recent papers and things like that.
You actually mentioned that, and he's going to reach into one of his back pockets. Got a novel here that I've been carrying around with me. It's one of those pulpy action adventure sorts of things, but it's a fun enough read if that's your sort of thing.
Oh.
You're welcome to it. I've read it 10 times over.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I would love to take a look at that.
I'll give it to her. Pages are a little yellow and the spine's thoroughly cracked, but yeah, it's just some adventure novel he's been carrying around for too long.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. You have a nice day.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.
And she flips open the book and starts reading.
All right, let's find the doctor.
All right. Yeah.
All right, so her room is upstairs, and it's sort of the last one at the end of the hallway.
All right. Yeah. Kiyo's gonna walk over and just kind of give a soft knock on it.
So, Dr. Viola, you're in your room. Why don't you just roll me a con roll while you're in there. See if you dozed off while you're reading your notes. Oh, hell yeah. You are startled awake by a knock at your door.
Totally knocked out.
As you sit up, your head comes up off the desk. One of Olive's small note pages is sort of stuck to your forehead in the moment as you kind of pull it away. And you realize at some point you have fallen asleep in your room.
Who's there?
Me, Doctor Kiyo.
Come on in, Kiyo. Come on in.
All right. She'll kind of open the door. Step in. You got your cow.
That's good. I'm sorry. I was kind of dozed off over all these papers.
Well, it's been good reading then.
So not. And Hiram was talking in his sleep again.
He seems to be doing that.
Yes.
Moron.
He also brought me an interesting piece of a chime that I want to share with you. And she just kind of unpacks and says, "Miss Q, have you ever seen something like this?"
What do I need to roll to see that?
So you can roll a natural world roll.
All right. That's the best thing I could possibly roll. I think I have a 20% chance of this. Ooh, that is a 10.
10. So you look it over and you sort of get the same impression as the doctor got. This is a strange stone. It definitely gives you like the feeling of like zinc or something along those lines, but it's not something you've seen before as you sort of look at the smooth surface of it as you're kind of like turning it over in your hands. And just the general smoothness of it is especially out here, not by like an ocean or anything like that, where you would get a much smoother stone that's been worn by the waves.
You kind of like turns it over her hand. Strange, but not really sure. Maybe because they said someone came in with these, right? Came in with those chimes, right?
Well, Hiram gave it to me because it broke off when he fell through the window, and she kind of just wraps it up. I just think it's strange, and anything strange here might be connected. So I'll have to figure out what that is. Did you guys learn anything new while you were out?
Oh, you have. We when we went to visit the wow, my brain completely forgot what his name was.
Stu Jacobs.
Stu Jacobs. We had we got the cow for one, and he might be sending his wife and his son to talk with you. They've been inconsolable from their daughters and sisters' disappearance, and thought maybe it might be a good thing to come and talk with you for that.
That sounds like a good idea.
She's been low energy is what very low of energy is what he said.
Oh. Is there anything, Jeanette, that I found out while I was reading that are connected that I can tell them about, or is it just a plain?
As far as the medical notes and things like that?
Yeah, if I made any connections.
Roll me just either a medicine check or you have a biology, science biology.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever one's better, roll me
Yeah, nope. 66 out of 55.
Yeah, so you're kind of coming up kind of confused. I mean, aside from the similarities and the issues with the brains and things like that, you're really struggling to figure out what exactly would do that and also bring these bodies back from the dead to wander about.
All right, Miss Kiyo. What time is it in the day?
So it's like mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon. So I would need that cow slaughtered, and I need their body to be mostly. Well, to be honest, I will need the head and the body separate. I want to look at the bones and the density at first, but then I mean, maybe we can have a good dinner.
That was my thought too. If you,
but I definitely need the head untouched.
Of course, yeah. I'm sure they have a butcher here that I can get.
Yes, I do need some of the bones that unharmed though, so I can check the bone density.
I'll have them save everything for you.
All
Just kind of get it nicely packaged up.
All right. So how's Miss Olive doing?
Pretty good. She seems pretty fine.
Did she fall again?
Not after the time not after the earthquake.
All right, good.
Callie just looks so exasperated with us.
Like, I keep falling off of horses, but she hit her head. Then she fell off the porch.
And as you're all talking about hitting your heads, I hit my head on the
the boom mic.
Ran around in the middle of the night with no shoes on, drunk.
I mean, that's just what you call a good night, though.
All right, so while that's going on, I'll probably go downstairs and see if I can have a late lunch, since I probably slept through lunch.
Okay, so you go downstairs.
I worked through lunch.
You did work through lunch. So
you slept through lunch.
So
I was just checking the back of my eyelids for
irregularities,
cuts or something.
Checking it for transparency.
So you go back downstairs. You find Olive and Sol and Duncan, who has lapsed into he seems like he's lapsed into kind of quiet thought on the trip back, and kind of as you guys have come in here. You still see the school teacher is still sort of sitting at the bar looking kind of lost. He's basically been sitting there since you all left him earlier in the day. And Duncan goes over and sits next to him, and he looks over at Jason, who's now behind the bar, and he's like, "Take a whiskey?" And he looks at Donovan, he goes, "Think he needs one too." "How you doing, friend?" Taps him on the shoulder. Donovan's like, Are we friends?" He's like, "Sure, you can be my friend. I'm friends with everybody. Just ask Sol."
Duncan still have his hat?
He does currently have his hat on.
All right.
Do you want to try to sleight of hand his hat away?
I do not.
Okay.
I wanted to, if I had a hammer and nails.
Just staple that to your head, Duncan.
In the future, we would use duct tape. The doctor probably wants to show her little part of the chime to Olive and Sol, explain where she got it from and see if they ever seen it before, or if they have an inkling of what it might be, since, it's bugging her that she doesn't know what material it's made of.
Okay.
Can I roll like arts and crafts?
You could, or you can roll straight intelligence check if you want to.
I'll try a natural world.
Okay. Nice.
So we established that this isn't one of the brown type of crystals that Dustin was talking about.
If I would say, I'd like to think that Sol, having heard about those, kind of looks at that first. But he described those as sort of cylindrical in nature and long, like 4 inches long. This is
And brown.
and rounded, so like a small cylinder. This is a flat kind of. It's almost like you'd pick up a rock to skim it. It's like this sort of really flat, smooth stone. The back side of it is kind of very gray, but the front side of it has that sort of crystallized sheen that sort of is like that zinc kind of shine to it. And what did Olive get?
I passed. I got an 18.
An 18. So Olive, this doesn't look like something somebody could craft to you. Like, you're looking at it and looking for like any signs of, maybe markings that it was like crafted or like made in some way, and you can't really see how this would get made from something that would be natural. And Sol, you're kind of looking at it as like it doesn't seem natural for this stone to kind of have formed, like the way that the top and the bottom, they seem like two different stones kind of together. And it's just nothing you've seen in your journeys anywhere at this point, as you're kind of holding it in your hands and just sort of looking it over. But it is like super like smooth. Like, it's been, when you pick up a rock from the beach and it's been just washed by the waves constantly, it's just very, very just smooth, especially the top. The upper part is just this really, like, you could run your hands across it and it would just, they slide across it without any sort of friction.
Well, whatever it is, it ain't right.
Anybody who wants to, while you're all sort of inspecting it, can roll me intelligence roll.
I'm definitely gonna roll an intelligence too.
Okay.
Intelligence. Hey, 70 or 7 over 75.
Okay. So
Damn.
that's an extreme success?
That's six degrees of success.
Okay, let's see.
Man, that is a lot of successes there.
Oh, yeah. So...
Yeah.
Oh.
I success.
Hey! You
So-
really rocked that check.
So all of you sort of pass this stone kind of around and are looking at it and sort of kind of discussing the different properties of it and just how weird it seems. And at one point, as you're kind of passing it around, and that moment where everybody sort of tries to take a hold of it and your fingers kind of run across it, the surface of it, as like your fingers kind of rub the surface as you pass it around, it suddenly starts to glow slightly and it starts to vibrate in your hands.
What the hell?
And I think we'll come back to that.
Oh.
Oh.
You killing me?
I
And then it
know.
explodes.
Throw it at the cow.
No, we need that.
So yeah.
We got to butcher it anyway.
Yep.
I
So
don't think we want to explosive butcher it though.
so yeah. So as all four of you sort of like, it's on the table and you're kind of passing around, then all four of you like at the same time sort of like go to reach for it, and your hands are on it. It sort of gives off this slight glow across the top, and it starts to just sort of vibrate at your touch. And does everybody kind of leave it and let it go?
Totally letting go, but looking at it like,
Yeah, Kiyo's gonna kind of take her hand off of it and back up a little.
All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I think Sol does that too, especially after hearing about the ones that explode. Yeah.
and I'll say that as you are all looking, but sort of backing up a little bit, like hell, in the surface of it, in the light that sort of starts to kind of coalesce across the glowing surface, you think that you can start to see a very hazy image starting to come into focus. And that is, we'll leave it on this very hazy image that is starting to come into focus. Until next time.
Jeez. What a way to end it.
I like these kind of endings. They're fun.
It's always a great ending. I'll say
Yes.
that though.
Also, beware your mics if you have them over your head, because I hit my head on mine. Sorry. All right, so why don't we go around and give any plugs or anything like that, and then we'll head out for the evening until our next adventure. So why don't we start? We'll go backward. We'll start with Vex.
Hi, I'm Vex. You can find me on Twitter at VexyHexy. You can find me on Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. EST on my channel, Fractured Moon D&D, where we play a Retroverse 5e game called Furry Road. Callie is also there. You can also find me on Fridays, every other Friday, on Scotty Hood's channel, Scotty_H00D, where we play another Retroverse game, and Callie's on this week. Oh, it's cute. Callie is on this week, but we alternate weeks, and that's at 7:30 p.m. EST, Callie, right? Okay. On Saturdays, again, I'm Fractured Moon, and also on Saturdays, you can find me. I'm playing a Witcher game on Heroes Without Limits, or H Without Limits, where I play a sorceress, and I use a lot of fire all the time. And that's it.
Excellent. And how about you, Callie?
Hi, I'm Callie. You can find me at Capt Callie on Twitter. I do art. I have commissions open. I have a bunch of school stuff, so I promise I'm doing the commissions. I have a midterm tomorrow.
Study for your midterm.
I'm doing it, so good. I'm working on commissions. I'm in Furry Road, like Beck said, and then Retroverse on Friday at 7:30. And I'm in Reign of Misrule on Scotty Hood's channel at 10 in the morning on Sunday, and we're going through it right now. And Dracolich just showed up, and we're trying to get Manchun and another guy to try to fight it out, but a Dracolich just showed up, and I don't know what's going on. And then at 6:30 on Sunday at Power Square RPG, it's Dungeon Academy. We're in the middle of fighting Mishka the Wolf Spider. My character is fighting two Spider Fiends at the same time, or she was fighting two Spider Fiends at the same time by herself. And I'm scared of what she's going to do next, because she's very reckless. And most of my characters are very reckless.
But not Olive. Olive's so unassuming and careful about... No, wait. Wrong character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. And that's it for me.
Outstanding. And Vivacia, how about you?
Oh, I'm Vivacia. You can find me as Vivacia on Twitch. You're Sherry Link, my tweeter, where you sometimes find funny things, sometimes weird things, like today when I hurt myself on nothing. And pulled a muscle. I have no clue if it was sleeping, sneezing, sitting, or just breathing. Welcome to my 40s. Aside from being here with you guys, this Thursday we're gonna play our last episode of Pathfinder on the Great Canadian Guy, where I'm the sneakiest, roguish, air Genasi sky druid ever. Feather fall forever. I can never have fall damage. Yeah, super sneaky. I'm gonna miss that character. And I'm on my own channel. I've been streaming Disco Elysium. I'm not very good at voices. I am practicing. And right now, my investigator is a feminist communist, which is very interesting. Yeah, and else I'm still playing The Sims, and I like hanging out here with you guys.
Yes. And D-Sword, what do you got going on?
Hi, everybody. I am Derek Sword. I am DSword16 on Twitter and Discord. Besides this game, you can find me every Saturday at 5:30 p.m. EST over on the Stalwart Initiative, where I am now DMing an Eberron campaign. We just had our first session this past Saturday, and it is a 12-week campaign, so definitely stop by. I've got a lot of stuff planned that really was going to show off the world of Eberron and all the crazy things that it offers. Other than that, I am also the co-host of a podcast called Monster Crush, where along with my two very lovely co-hosts, we discuss different monsters, cryptids, and paranormal entities, and whether they'd be good to date or smooch. So if you ever wondered, what Bigfoot Dick like? Listen to our podcast. It's a lot of fun. And you can find that anywhere podcasts are found. And definitely give us 5 stars and subscribe.
Excellent. I still have to subscribe. I haven't done that yet, so I'm glad you reminded me.
You gotta subscribe.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm slacker this week. I'm sorry. But
we have a new episode coming out tomorrow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will have to do that because I need new podcasts. I work in an office. Podcasts are great for an office worker. And I'm Jeanette. Hi, I'm the keeper and the DM here on Uncanny Adventures. You can find us here for this game today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, every other Tuesday. I always mix up Monday and Tuesdays. It's been a thing lately. So every other Tuesday for this game. And then every other Sunday, we have a 4:30 p.m. Eastern Skull and Shackles D&D 5e campaign that's been going on for a while. And every other Monday, so the off Monday from this game, we have another Old West campaign, Beneath the Burning Sun, also set in kind of the same area as this one, same time. So a lot of Old West Cthulhu, which it's been fun, bank robberies and people arrested by posse. It's just, it's fun times. But other than that, you can find me on Scotty Hood's channel on Saturdays at 3 p.m. and every other Saturday at 7 p.m. for D&D 5e fun. And that's what I'm doing lately. So, thank you everybody as usual. I always enjoy this. And this was our 7th session. So we're probably halfway. D-Sword and I talked about it before the game got started. Depending on what happens and what y'all do, it could be a roller coaster ride, or we'll see what happens next time as this crystal has now begun to coalesce, and there seems to be something on there that's shining out. We don't know, we'll see. But thank you all. It's a mystery. It's always a mystery. We have to end on a cliffhanger. It brings you back next time. All right, so on that note, we're gonna head out. Take care, have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Goodbye.